Do you find yourself attracting the wrong type of clients and business abundance just keeps eluding you? Well, for the next 45 to 60 minutes, I'm going to give you some tips and tools on how you can attract more of what you want and less of what you don't want in your business. My name is Dana Smithers, and I am a certified law of attraction trainer and business coach. Some of you, I know, I've seen a few of you have signed up for this call. You know me from doing talks at women's networking groups. A lot of you are signed up for my newsletter and are on have gone to some of my hangouts as well. So if you're a new viewer, I'd like to invite you to become part of my Google community. It's the Law of Attraction for Women in Business, and if you're not sure what that is, we'll talk about that at the end of the call. But I just wanted to welcome first-time viewers today, and really, really looking forward to this. We've got an awesome panel of women entrepreneurs today. So what the heck is this big deal about the Law of Attraction? Well, you know, ladies, the Law of Attraction isn't new. It's been around forever, and I think if we went back to really went back to history books, we would find it everywhere. And I know that I just wanted to give you a little bit of the history around the books that I've kind of read and how I got into this. So one of the books, you may know this one as well. It's written by Napoleon Hill, and it's called Think and Grow Rich. This was written in 1937, and this is a book I'm sure many of you read. If you haven't, it's a good read. But he talks about the law of success, and really what he's talking about is it's really the power of positive thinking. And I'm going to talk about your thoughts, how much power you have by the words that you say. So that's coming up. But another book, speaking of the power of positive thinking, this has been a bestseller as well. This is a pretty old copy that I have, but this book was written by Norman Vincent Peale in 1952. Now, this one, Norman's got a little bit more of God in here. It's a little bit more maybe for someone who's a bit more into God and into religion. Whatever, Law of Attraction isn't respecter of persons. It doesn't care what you worship or if you don't worship at all. It doesn't care at all. So there's that book. And then another book that probably, you know, there's lots of books that came out sort of in 2000, and this was one of them. And this is called The Secret. So there's a movie done with it. This came out in about 2006. So I'm going to tell you something about The Secret that's actually missing in this book. So stay tuned, because I'll tell you about that a bit later. And then also there's books by, a lot of you may know, the Abraham series, The Law of Attraction. This is a bit more metaphysical, but again, it's all about the Law of Attraction. And probably one of the newest books that I just picked up is this one called E2 by Pam Grout. It's a great little book. She's got 9 do-it-yourself experiments in here. If you need to have a little bit more convincing about the Law of Attraction, because you know, I'm not a scientist. I don't have a petri dish. I can't do an experiment and show you how the Law of Attraction works, but what I can give you are some tools. And I know that I'm not the only one that knows these tools, and I'm not the only one that's had the experience of bringing that Law of Attraction into their life, whether deliberately or not. So what I'd like to do is just introduce you to my very auspicious and like-minded women entrepreneurs on the panel today. And I'm going to start with Debbie Talbert. I actually met Debbie in the Google community, and we've become pretty good friends, and Debbie helps me out with some things because she's a real techie gal. I'm the how-to gal for the Law of Attraction, but she's the techie gal for the Google stuff. So I'm going to let Debbie introduce herself. So welcome, Debbie, and tell us about yourself and kind of where you started to use the Law of Attraction. How did you discover it?
All right, thanks, Dana. I'm so excited to be here today on your show because I love this topic and I love how you're helping women in business with using this. It's awesome. And for me, actually, I experienced the Law of Attraction for the very first time without really realizing it. And it was actually when I was married to someone that I was not happy being married to. However, for reasons of things that were happening in the relationship, I was afraid to leave. But what I kept saying, because I was at a particular job where I was commuting And so he lived in one city and I lived in another city. And prior to that, we had both never actually been on the same schedule. I used to work nights and he used to work during the day. So then I kept saying to people I knew, I'll bet you anything, when we get together on the same schedule, we're going to get a divorce. I just was like constantly speaking that. Like I was just like,
wow.
And so then we did. Like I literally within 18 months from living together on the same schedule, we got a divorce. And he left, which was good because still I was still in that state. I was too afraid to leave. And so that's when, and then I didn't even realize that I had done that until I actually watched The Secret. And that's when it hit me. Oh my God, that's what I did when I got divorced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my personal first experience with it and realizing, and The Secret helped me realize that's what that was. For what I do now is, you know how when you experience your first hot flash, and somewhere within,
okay, this is women on the show, so yeah, we get this. Yeah.
Right. So somewhere inside you, even if you're at the point where you don't really want to admit that that's what you just experienced, somewhere inside you, you instinctively know you're entering a new stage of life. So what I do is I inspire women and teach them how to, for this stage of their life, to deliberately create a life that they love living. And I use the law of attraction to help them with that. And on the side, what came about from interviewing women that did that in their life, I now also teach them and teach people, small business owners or solopreneurs, where your face is like your business. I teach them how to use Google Hangouts and do shows just like this one.
Right.
And use it as their marketing.
Right. And that's fabulous, Debbie. And that's really how I've worked with Debbie on some things, and she's a fantastic trainer. What I forgot to mention is the 3 women that are on the panel today are all on the panel from the comfort of their home. So either you can be, some of you are watching this, but you can also be part of panels as well. And with all 3 women, they're actually all certified law of attraction trainers as well. So, you know, what I think so important with attracting is, if you think I'm someone that maybe you want to work with, or Debbie is, or Jackie is, or Penny, you know, it's about the vibration. Which one feels like the right fit for you? So I am all about supporting women. So I love the work that Debbie's doing, and we'll come back to Debbie in a bit. But now I'd like to go to Jackie. So welcome, Jackie.
Thank you, Dana, and good morning to all the viewers. My name is Jackie McLean. I'm from Vancouver in British Columbia in Canada. And I work with business owners who are stressed, who are anxious about their business, about their family life, and struggle with substance. So, you know, cocaine or alcohol, cigarettes. They're so stressed. I help them calm their minds, focus their thoughts. Right. And as you will be teaching us, Dana, you know, our thoughts come from our words. Right. I'm really excited to learn that. So I help my clients calm their minds, focus their thoughts, so they can attract their ideal clients and make more money.
Right. And that's what we all want. Yeah. And Jackie, I understand, you know, as I say, I've got a diverse group on today. We're all women entrepreneurs, and you're in the process of writing a book, are you not?
I am.
What's it called?
Crack the Cocaine Code Permanently.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And and I forgot to mention as well that Debbie, who's with us today, actually lives in Florida, but she's in New York City right now, so she's just joining us on this hangout. So thanks so much, Ms. World Traveler there. And now I'd like to introduce you to Penny Petty, who's on the other side of Canada right now. Welcome, Penny.
Hi, everybody. Dana, thank you so much for inviting me to come on your panel with these other 2 brilliant women. I'm just so honored to be here, because what you're doing for women is incredible. It's life-changing. We all have the tools to help change people's lives. And Dana, so I'd like to just mention, when you're talking about the books, you know, and how we got into the law of attraction, my first inkling into the law of attraction, although I was living it, not deliberately, and my life was crap, right? So it was Wayne Dyer, and I watched the program, and he said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I knew it had significance in my life, those words, but I really didn't fully get them. Then The Secret came out, and even then, and I didn't fully get it. And this is what you're going to teach people, and it's beautiful. But I'm going to show you the turning point for me, and it was a book, and it was this one, The Law of Attraction by Michael Lozier. This book actually is the connection for all of us right now.
Yeah.
Right? We all took this program. We all met, and we've all gone on to soar in our own businesses. I'm a Law of Attraction trainer and coach, and I teach women later in life. I've been through a divorce. I've been through that downside where I have just felt like I was done, and I felt like I was always working for somebody else, making somebody else's dream come true, while mine was being pushed down. And just before the show, we were talking about this, and I said we should live a life that we dream our dream till our last breath. So at whatever age, it doesn't matter. We can continue to just dream our dream. But the best thing is, with the tools, Dana, that you're going to teach women, with all of us, we can actually live that dream. It is possible. We're all living proof of it. So
absolutely. Thanks so much, Penny. And it's absolutely true that the power is within us. So let me just address the three topics that I said I would when you signed up for this. So one of them is, what is the law of attraction? How does it work? And I want to spend time talking about why you keep attracting negative clients. And I'm going to bring the panel in for some of their experiences around that as well, because we've all attracted negative clients, and many of us have worked with those negative clients and probably wish that we hadn't. So let me talk about the law of attraction. I know some of you, we all have different learning styles, so if you're comfortable taking some notes, please do that. If you just like to listen and take it all in, that's good too. So I'm going to give you a definition for the law of attraction, and it's interesting that Penny talked about Michael Lozier, because Michael is the one that certified us all. Whoops, there he is. And he's got great programs on YouTube's, and you can watch those as well. I think as women, though, we have a little tiny bit different perspective on talking about the law of attraction because we are women. So, yeah, it's wonderful that Michael was one of the people that we attracted into our life. So this is his definition, and it's one I use all the time as well. So you can write this down. I attract to my life whatever I give my attention, so whatever I give my attention, energy, or focus to, whether positive or negative. So I'll say that again as a definition, and we'll start from there. So I attract to my life whatever I give my attention, energy, or focus to, whether positive or negative. Okay, so how does that actually work? Well, the law of attraction, and again, I'll just quote Michael here, has a job description, and it's very simple. What it does, the law of attraction, it matches your vibration. So if you've got a positive vibration going on, then it makes sense that you're going to get what more? Panel, what would we say? If we've got positive vibes on?
Positive results.
Positive results.
Get positive results, positive people. And hello, cranky, crabby, nasty, doesn't want to pay on time, no respect client. Anybody had any of these ones? Well, you know what? If you think that about your clients, that's what you're going to attract. So let me tell you about what the relationship is. And this is one of the biggest principles of the law of attraction, because if the law of attraction is matching your vibrations, well, where the heck do these vibrations come from? Well, I'll tell you where the vibrations come from. It's pretty simple. Everything starts with your words. From those words, you form sentences or thoughts. And those thoughts emit certain feelings, moods, or vibrations. So your feelings really are where your vibrations are. And you know where we talk about having that gut feeling? Well, that's really true. If you're into chakras at all, you know that your solar plexus are where all that energy is happening. So it really is your gut feeling, and that gut feeling, these two are connected, your brain and your gut. So when you when you use certain words, they give you certain thoughts and you get certain feelings. And those feelings that you get, there's only two kinds of feelings. What are they, ladies?
Positive and negative.
And positive.
And how many can we have going on at one time?
Only
Only
two.
one.
Only one. There are
Only
two.
one.
But you know what? These can't go on at the same time, right? It's impossible. It's one or the other. Okay, let me go back to this. It's the words. From the words, we get some thoughts, and from those thoughts, we get the feelings, and we get a certain vibe. And that, ladies, is what gives us our result. So if you don't like what's going on in your life, what do you need to change?
Your words.
Vibration.
Your words, your thoughts, your vibes, right? They're all connected. So just a little bit of a story about myself. Some of you know this already, but when I was, it's a long time ago, when I was 35, a little bit like Debbie's story, I was broke, I was divorced, recently divorced, didn't want to be divorced, but I was, and we finalized it. I was actually working 3 part-time jobs. I was living in another country, and I was living with a man that I, very similar, Debbie, came to not respect. And I'd never really had that happen in my life, and it was so painful to me that one day it was kind of a crazy thing that happened to me, but it was my aha moment where I literally woke up on the lawn. I was passed out, had a dog in my arm, party going on inside. I looked at this dog and I said, you know what? I'd rather be with you than the man I'm with. My life changed. So even though I didn't know what I wanted, knowing what I did not want, the contrast, this was my whole life. Blah, 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 blah. And Debbie, you said that you made the comment like, you know, if we move in together, it's never going to work, we're going to get divorced. Well, right. Excellent law of attraction, right? So ladies, exactly. This is how powerful this relationship is. It's majorly powerful because it's all about the vibes. It's all about how we feel. So that's basically how it works. Now, let's just say you're somebody that keeps attracting negative clients. So I'm just going to ask for some stories here, and Penny, Jackie, or Debbie, either of you can jump in, but have you ever had a negative client and that you've gone ahead and done business with, and then let's find out what the outcome was. Who'd like to share that story?
I can do it.
Okay, Jackie.
So about 3 years ago, I worked with a gentleman. He was 65, and he used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes. That's 40 cigarettes a day.
Wow.
For 45 years. And he had a stressful job, bad relationship, and all of those things. And when I started working with him, he was in such a bad place that it brought my energy down.
Mm.
So this is a typical example of working with somebody who has, negative energy.
Right.
Right.
And I'm sure that it probably you weren't excited to work with this client. It's like, oh no.
I wasn't initially, but when I helped him clear what was bothering us,
yeah,
he quit smoking in a single session.
Wow.
And it only happened because I helped him change his vibration. I helped him change his thought pattern, which was obviously changed his words. That's
Right.
where it all originates. So.
Right, and really changed his life. Yeah.
Changed his life. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Debbie or Penny, have either of you worked with a client that was negative and you wish you hadn't?
Me personally, I haven't, only because I attracted my ideal opportunity to get myself into business. So I've been using the law of attraction from the beginning of myself personally being in business. So
Good.
I haven't attracted a client. I've had environment of my personal life of
Right.
negative people around, and it does. Well, actually, every day that I go to work as my flight attendant job, I am exposed to that. And
Right.
so I have learned to just leave the environment, because I can easily find myself going down the same path they're going.
Right.
I feel it coming, and I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm going to go pick up trash or whatever. I go do something else.
Yeah.
And remove myself from the environment.
Yeah. And something that we talk about with the law of attraction, we say this very respectfully to people, is that go mind your own vibration, right? You mind your vibration and I'll mind mine. And while it may sound like, well, how do you do that? That's pretty preposterous. It isn't really, because you have to start working on your law of attraction muscles, right? If you haven't been using this law of attraction, and we'll talk about deliberate attraction, how to use that, but if you've just kind of, gone along with people in your life and put up with things and all of that, I can think about a time where, because I'm a business coach as well, and I was starting the call, and what I always do on my coaching calls is I ask people to set their intention. So I ask them what they want to work on, because that allows us to get very focused, right? Because with the law of attraction, we definitely want to get very focused on what our goals are. So she said, well, I need to talk about time management. I said, okay, well, that's a great topic for women entrepreneurs, because we're juggling so many things at once. Which one do you do? How do you do that? And all of that. So I said, okay, good. Let's focus on that. And then I like to check in with the energy level. So I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how you're feeling. And she said, well, and I could already tell in her voice, right? And she was a new client for me, so she wasn't kind of used to the Dana's law of attraction rules, kind of that. It's not that it's a rule, but we just have a much better time when we focus on what we want, right? We want the positive vibes going on. So she said, well, I'm about 3 or 4. Ooh. Hello.
Yeah.
So she's, way down here on the scale. If 100 is high, how are you feeling? She's way down here. So she said, well, I got up this morning and my daughter was sick. I was going to be late for my own client, so I had to phone my client. I couldn't get a hold of my client, so I was stressing about what am I going to do about that. And then ended up that my daughter finally decided, okay, she could go to school. And then, I went ahead and I was getting dressed and I was, ironing my blouse, and I put a hole in my blouse. It's like, okay, all right. So again, we got more negative vibes going on. And then she said, I didn't get in touch with my client, and I got a nasty email from them saying, where was I? And I had left a voicemail for them, and I just went, okie dokie. Let's just stop. Because I didn't want that conversation in my life as well. So what I do, and another thing that I'd like to, another tool I'd like to share with you, is called resetting your vibe. So if you find that you're here and you really want to be here, there's a way to do it, but it requires that you become very deliberate. So we're going to talk about the deliberate law of attraction, because law of attraction is going on 24/7 whether you're aware of it or not, right? It's like the law of gravity. We don't think about gravity, but we know that if we, put something on the table and shove it off, whether it's a cup of coffee or a book, it's going to fall. Well, the law of attraction is the same. It's always working. No respecter of persons, doesn't care if you're male or female, young or old, tall, short, thinner, a little bit heavier. It's always in operation. And it's just matching those vibrations. So I said to her, all right, let's just stop. And I said, let's just regroup. I said, what I'd like you to do is what I call reset the vibe. So where she was, in her day was not having a good day. She really wanted this client. It was the first call with the client, so she was missing out on that. And what she wanted was way over here. So we've got a really, really big gap in the middle. So with the law of attraction, what all of us would do is we want to get people so that they come together and that gap is closed. So how do we do that? Okay, we could do a drum roll here, but you can do a drum roll on this, but I'm not going to fool around with that today. But this is what all of us law of attraction people do. We say, are we going to get a drum roll here? We say, reset your vibe. And ask yourself, so what do I want? What do I want? So I've actually got these, I had a lot of reset vibes buttons. I've actually got some up there, some up there behind me. And when I do my law of attraction, thank you. I should say when I do my workshops or I'm doing talks, I get a lot of applause at the end because these are really, these are tools that you can understand. There is a science in it, and the science is actually quantum physics, because this is all about energy. The most famous scientist who was the best with understanding energy is Einstein. And he got it. He got the vibrations. Vibrations, if you want more scientific evidence, you can look up a fellow named Dr. Hawkins. He's no longer with us, but he's a psychologist, and he did what's called a calibration scale. And it kind of goes from 0 to 100. And you can just Google that or do a YouTube search. And he talks about where certain energy, whether it's negative or positive, where it actually is on a scale. So with something like feeling good and gratitude, you're at about a 500 or a 600 on the scale. But when you've got negative thoughts and you're down in the dumps and, you're spiraling down, this is going wrong, that's going wrong, nothing's going to go right in my life, and who did I think I was to think I could start this business, and, la, 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 and down we go. So we have to reset that vibe. So how we do that is by going back to this relationship. And I'm asking the question, so what do you want? So with that gal that I was coaching, I said, okay, let's just stop. Let's throw all that negative stuff out, but tell me what you want. And she said, well, I want to be able to connect with that client because I realized that wasn't very professional, that I didn't, phone them. I just sent the email, and I thought they would get it, and they didn't, and they were kind of annoyed with me. So what we're going to do is we're going to form some sentences. But this time, I want her to pick up the phone, because just sending another email may just have that same energy in it. And that's actually a tip. I didn't plan on saying this, but for all of us women in business, solopreneurs, emails have a use, but picking up the phone and actually engaging with someone is going to work better, because you've got a different energy connection going on. So, get yourself in, set your intention. I'm doing this phone call. I'm going to make this sale. Everything's going to be great. And if we don't make this sale, then something better is going to happen. Because if you're not attracting that client, chances are they're not the right client for you anyway. So just say thank you. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to tell you what my services are. Doesn't matter what it is or what my products is, and wish them well. No mind frick, no negative thoughts about them, because you want to leave space for some good stuff to go on. So we still have to go back to our words. So I said, all right, well, change your thoughts. I said, what could you say to this person? Well, she said, I could phone up, and she said, I could actually share some of my feelings. She said, I could tell them that I'm sorry. She said, I could explain, and I said, okay, we'll keep it short. We don't need to go in a long explanation about what happened, right? Just, I'm sorry, something came up in my life, I'd like to start this over. And by her doing that, her vibes are going to go up, and that person who maybe felt they were being a little bit disrespected is going to feel bitter about that person, so they're naturally going to get a different result. So does that make sense to everybody? Does that sound like something that is reasonable and that you could do in your life? Jackie, would that be something that you could, do with one of your clients? Because I know that, you do get people starting out and your whole goal is to find out what they want. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I did it recently with a client who was having troubles in her relationship. And I got her to use these very same techniques that you just taught us, Dana,
Yeah.
about watching her words, which is causing the thoughts, which is causing the vibration, and that was her result.
Right. Excellent. Yeah, that's great. So it as I say, it is a relationship that you can control, right? And maybe you think, well, I can't always control my thoughts, but you know what? As soon as you find yourself spiraling, I sometimes wear my reset button, and because I have days like that too, right? I mean, I'm just going to ask the people on the panel, Penny, you ever have a day where it's not 100% perfect?
Oh, goodness.
I'm sure.
Here's what I have. I have a reset on my mouse.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
That's always a reminder for me. It's like, okay, reset. It's a really wonderful tool, and I teach that to my clients all the time. And I have the little reset buttons like you have, and I give, and I had a client in a meeting, and she said, I was just sitting there going, reset, reset, reset. She said, until finally I actually told people, look, we need to reset what we're thinking here.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? Right? So it's really great when we can teach people how to reset, and then they catch on, because it really is easy. It's just a practice. We need to practice it, and then they can go and help others. So, yep. I use it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And ladies, just something, because I know you're solopreneurs out there, something I want to point out with what Penny's done here, what I really love. Penny's brand color, for anybody looking, I would say it's purple, in the purple hues. And did you notice what her color was on her mouse pad, or on her little mouse, what she's got there?
Purple.
Purple. You want to hold that up again? Yeah. So that's good branding, right? You want to make sure that people recognize your brand. If you took a guess at what brand color I have, I don't think you'd be saying green. I'm just saying, but
the power of red.
Yeah,
Red.
exactly. But it's all about, I know I'm talking a little bit. Well, it's not off topic, right? It's about how you feel about the color that you're using in your brand, in your business. Do you like the name of your company? Do you like your logo? If you don't have a good feeling about it, other people are not going to have a good feeling about it, so you're not going to be attracting the type of people that you want. So that's just sort of a little learning that came in about the brand color when Penny did her little reset vibe there, and of course mine is that. So it's always about, so what do you want? Okay, so just to recap here, so talking about the law of attraction, so what is it? Well, that definition, I attract to my life whatever I give my attention, energy, or focus to, whether wanted or unwanted. So you're starting to get why you might be attracting some negative clients in your life that maybe, so let's kind of do, I'm going to do a quick, there's a 3-step process. I'm not going to go into too much detail in here about it, but it goes like this, the 3-step process for deliberately attracting. So the first one is to identify your desire, then raise your vibration and allow it. So let's just talk about identifying your desires. So what we use as law of attraction trainers and business coaches, believe it or not, we actually ask people to tell us what they don't want. Debbie, Jackie, and Penny, I'm going to ask you to tell me one thing that you don't want in a client. And because our viewers, if you're watching this, you can actually put comments in the comment section below. So if you wanted to put anything in there about the type of clients you're attracting, why don't you do that? And we'll just, but we'll get some type of what we don't want. So we're going to talk about. So this is what we call, remember I said, here's what we don't want and here's what we do want. And there's a big gap in there. So that gap is filled with all this negative energy And it's not happening, people, right? You're not getting what you want. So let's find out what we don't want. We're going to start with that first. So Debbie, what would be one thing in a client that you don't want?
I don't want clients that take the information I'm sharing with them and teaching them and showing them how to do and just put it up on a shelf and never use it in their life.
Okay, so keep that thought. That's what you don't want. Jackie,
Right.
What don't you want in a client?
I don't want clients who are not committed to their growth.
Okay.
And who do not use the simple techniques that I teach them to focus their mind.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. And Penny, how about you? What you don't want?
Okay, well, I don't want to attract clients that don't pay on time, or they pay late.
Okay, got it. Excellent. Okay, I'm sure a lot of the viewers get that one. And for me, as a business coach, and this isn't ego for me, but I've been a solopreneur for really, I think it's about 14 years, although I usually say over 10. And I left the corporate world, and I had a lot of tools that I learned in the corporate world, very, very successful in the corporate world. And I started my own business as a solopreneur. And within a very short time, I grew that business to a 6-figure income. I've sold that business, and my focus now is all on teaching the law of attraction and being a business coach and doing these hangouts. So, really I can affect more people in the world. So I feel that I do know a fair bit about business, and I do like to keep up on technology. This is a new, Google Hangouts are pretty new technology. So I keep apprised of what's going on. I'm big on social media. I know what it takes to market as a solopreneur. So what I don't like is when we agree that this would be their next step and this would be something good for them to do, that they don't do it and they just decide to do something else that for me doesn't even make sense. So that's what I don't like, is people that don't take my advice, or when we've agreed to it, right? If they don't like it and that doesn't feel right to them, I'm good with that. But if we've agreed, yep, that's my next step, I expect that to happen. So that's called the contrast. So the way that we actually get clear, just like how Debbie explained her situation with when she got together with her first husband and it didn't work out. There was too much contrast going on, right? There wasn't, she probably wasn't even doing, so what do I want? Or maybe she was, but she wasn't getting it, right? So, we've got that contrast, and then we get clear. For me, when I was living in the States and all those things were going on, it was because the gap was so big that it hurt so much that I just had to give up and figure out what did I want. And the only thing that I knew that I focused on to close that gap for me was to get out of town. I think there's a saying about that or something, get out of whatever, some city or something, right? But that's what I did. And so as soon as I did that, the law of attraction started, again, not deliberately. I didn't know how to use it, but I just knew what I wanted. So for me, and this is where I think women are a little bit different than men using the law of attraction, I got very in alignment with saying to myself, I didn't like who I was, and I was willing to change, right? So I got very clear, didn't like, want to move forward. And in a very short time, I started to get all the answers that I needed. I started to get the money that I needed to get out of town. I started to attract the people that I needed. And I actually even attracted my first spiritual teacher. I didn't even know what a spiritual teacher was at age 35, but I found one. I attracted one, and I spent a lot of time with her and learning. So I was in alignment. And for me, that, you can say that alignment is in alignment with the law of attraction, with your vibrations, with your feelings, your energy is good. For me, I like to connect with source energy. So some of you that might work, it may not be part of your vocabulary, you may not like it, whatever. I don't care what you believe in. as I say, the law of attraction isn't respecter of person in terms of what you believe in, other than believing in how this works. So that's the contrast, and I got clear. So I'm going to go back to Debbie, and she's told us all about this client that she doesn't want. So I'm going to ask her what she does want. So what do you want now, Debbie?
I want a client that is, just like Jackie said, is realize it's their own responsibility for their personal growth, and they've paid to take this course, and they want to apply it into their life, even if it's a struggle or it's harder than they expected. To ask questions, reach out, and actively apply it in their life.
Right. Perfect. Okay. So you're clear on what you do want. So that's going into your clarity list of what you do want. Right. Perfect.
Right.
And Jackie, how about you?
I want clients who are really committed to making change,
Yeah.
who have struggled for so long. That has been their contrast, what they didn't want. They now know what they want. They're committed to making the change, and of course they will pay on time.
Right. So that's what we're attracting. And Penny, let's hear about those clients, about the money, right? The abundance.
Well, I think a very important key word here is Dana, you made a decision. Debbie, you made a decision. Jackie, you made a decision. I made a decision. We made a decision that we didn't like what was going on in our life, so we wanted something better. Even though we didn't know what better was, we still made that decision. And that raises our vibration. That allows the law of attraction to start doing its job. Now, for me, I became really dedicated to empower myself, and that involved paying to have self-development. So now I know the importance of that, and I attract now clients that are so willing, even though they've made a decision, they don't know, they're like, okay, I want to be better, and I'm willing to commit to that. They're willing to pay. They pay on time. They pay in advance. They're willing because they know the importance of that inner work is so important. The law of attraction will match you up.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. So isn't it interesting that as solopreneurs, the four of us here, that we all believe in personal growth, and we all believe in professional growth. So we are the type of women, and I have a hunch that you're probably like this as well, that you want to invest in yourself, right? That you get that, we've all invested thousands upon thousands of dollars in our personal and professional growth, and that's why I say, for me, what I want to attract is someone that respects that I've made that investment in myself, right? That I understand business. If I don't understand something, then I go and find out. I make that decision, as Penny said. I make that decision to find out how can I get, because the law of attraction is going to give you everything that you need to do, know, or have to help you move forward. And Penny talked a little bit about how she, raised that positive vibration, and then how she allowed things to come more into her life. So for me, I like those clients that, as I say, when we've agreed that this is what they're going to do, that they do move forward with that. Or if for some reason they can't, then just give me a quick phone call and let's find out, because it's it could be that, I just attracted 5 new clients, so I wasn't able to do that. This is what I like to do. Hello.
Exactly.
Celebrating. I've got my pom-poms, ladies. I like to celebrate.
Notice the red?
Yeah, exactly.
You're red.
And that's what it's all about.
I like to do my abundance dance.
Debbie's got a really crazy. We're not going to watch that right now, though, Debbie. Sorry. Okay, fine. All right. So let's just recap what we've learned today. I think there's a lot of good tools here. So remember this one. This is probably the most important relationship tool that I can give you, is watch your words that you say, what you're thinking. And often with law of attraction, we do what's called reframing. We'll if someone, even my family members get kind of tired of me saying things to them, but once in a while, it just pops out. Someone will say, well, I'm struggling with something, and I'll go, oopsie, let's reframe that. And of course, you know what family's like, right? It's like, okay, sorry, we're only going to attract people that really want to know you know, how to, I just say mind my own vibration, right? So I need to do that, right? But lost my train of thought there on that one, getting into the family there. Anyway, yeah, so if they come up with the word struggling or it's a client, I just immediately say in a very loving way, think about that word that you just said. So you're struggling. So what kind of vibe is struggling, ladies?
Negative. Negative.
Negative. Also, if you're just trying to do some things, you're not fully committed. So be mindful about that word trying, you know, or struggling, or I've got a problem. This is really tough to do, whatever. So be mindful of those words that you're saying and reframe it. Give yourself another word because you're automatically going to get another thought. And when you get another more positive thought, your feelings are going to change and your result is going to be different. So that's how you're going to attract better clients. If you're thinking, well, I've had just a bunch of crappy clients, I'm going to go, whoa, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask you to do what?
Reset your vibe.
Reset. And I'm going to say, so what do you want? And that immediately, so you can start using this with people. I do use this with my family. When, you know, we all have those times when we gripe, whatever, blah, 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 okay? Just a really nice, so what do you want? You know, having that conversation with your mother on the phone. I've been there, done that one. I might say, so Mom, tell me, what do you want? And, you know, it might take a few tries before they actually get it. And, you know, with some people, they're never going to get who you are. Because if you change and your partner is still way over here, just like what Debbie was saying, or for my example, when I was living in the States, you know, we were too far apart. My vibe was actually going higher and higher and higher, and his was going lower and lower and lower. And you know what? Nothing's meeting here, right? We're not all, the gap just got bigger and bigger until sometimes you lose friends. You may lose a client that's no longer the right client for you. And, you know, that's actually a really good thing to do, because what happens when you lose one client or you let them go?
You have space for the new one.
Exactly. And who's it more likely that you're going to attract?
Your ideal client.
Exactly.
Because you've been focusing on that.
Right, because as Penny said, it's a decision, but it's very deliberate. It's a deliberate decision that you're making to change something in your life. Mm-hmm. So I hope that you've got a lot of information from today. It's certainly been a lot of fun with this panel. So if you are someone who is interested in personal growth, likes to take courses, would like to know how to change how the clients that they're attracting, or maybe it's a relationship, a business relationship. Maybe you're not getting the right referrals in your business, or perhaps the strategic alliances that you're getting are not really understanding what your business is and they're not able to market it very well. Whatever that is, or maybe you just, you know, maybe you've got a business that's really, if you looked at the numbers, your bookkeeper or accountant might say, is this a hobby? Because you know what? If you're not making money, I kind of call that a hobby. So if you want to take that hobby, or maybe it's not a hobby, maybe it is a business, and make more abundance, then I'm going to give you an invitation. Because I have, coming up, a 5-part, it's going to be a Google Hangout show, just like this. So some of you might like to be on the panel like we've done today, because we can have a little bit more discussion about that. Or some of you might like to just sit at home and do what you're doing today, just watch it. But it's my Business Abundance series, so it's for women entrepreneurs. And the URL for that is right there, and it's also right here. So it's empoweredwomeninbusiness.com/business abundance. So you can take a look at that after the call, or whenever you've got the time to do it. But this is for like-minded women entrepreneurs who maybe want to do a little bit better in their life, attract better clients, attract more abundance. And remember that actually abundance is a feeling. So there's lots of different ways that you can take a look at the abundance that you have in your life and actually raise that vibration. So in this 5-part series, it's 5 weeks, so we're going to do 4 weeks once a week. And then we're going to have a break, and then we're going to come back at the end after about 3 weeks, and we're going to check in. Because I know I've run this program before, and the successes, like people start having successes right after that very first call that we have. So the calls are an hour long, and they just say, you wouldn't believe what I started attracting. In fact, I had one woman, I had just done a Law of Attraction talk, and she won my giveaway of a recording that I had done, and she was a scientist. And scientists are sometimes a little bit harder to convince. Like I said, we don't have a petri dish, so I can't give them that. I can just give them the tools how it works. And she said, she emailed me and she said, wow, this law of attraction really works. I attracted this person that I didn't even know how to attract. I didn't know how to find them, whatever. So she said, so I emailed her back and I said, can we call you a believer now? And she said, oh yeah, I'm a believer. So I love that. I actually did a blog post about it. So this 5 weeks is going to change your life. So in it, we're going to talk about getting rid of those limiting beliefs. How do you do that? We're going to do the actual, I talked a little bit about this, but this is a 3-step law of attraction, deliberate attraction process. So it's a formula. I'm going to go into in-depth how you use each one of these tools. And I have to tell you right now that this number 3, allowing, most misunderstood tool that there is. So it's a process that will take a lot more time to really dissect it, and then by the end of that you'll understand what it is and how you can allow more things into your life. Because ladies, one thing we're not very good at is receiving. You know, we give a woman a compliment, and many times, but as you learn it, you don't do it, but many times they go, oh, this old dress or this hair, oh, I was having a bad hair day today. Instead of just take it in. Say, wow, thank you. Thank you. And you don't have to turn around and say back to them, oh, well, I love that necklace that you're wearing or whatever, right? Take it in. Breathe it in. It's for you. It's for you. It's just for you. Take it in. Because that's going to raise your vibe. All right. So, that's a program that's coming up, and so we're going to talk about how to remove doubt, how to receive more abundance, and we're also going to have, I'm going to have another group of women on, and these are women that have attracted a lot of business abundance in their life. So I want them to tell us how they did it, some of their success stories, and I'm going to give you lots and lots of more tools around that. So if that's something that sounds good to you, then please go to that website. And something that I've done, because I just believe that this law of attraction is life-changing. It's transformational. And if you're a difference maker in the world, which I have a feeling you might be, then I want to teach you how to use these tools and go out there and make a difference. But ladies, I want you to make money. So no more hobbies. This is money. Let's make some money together, because you know what? That's going to make you feel really good. So I'm just going to wrap up what I'm saying right now. And yeah, so just to make it affordable for you and at a nice price point, you can go onto the website. I've got a 2-payment plan. So you pay a month apart, and as you're attracting and bringing more abundance in, you're going to send a little abundance my way. So I appreciate that as well, because that's how the law of attraction works, right? We're all supporting each other in our businesses. So I'm just going to ask Penny if there's any questions from our viewers, Penny, that we can answer. I'll get people on the panel to answer.
Well, I just want to mention, Dan, that this is a program that you're offering that pays for itself, and then the dividends just keep on generating. So this is actually free, and it's just going to keep, yeah, because it's just going to keep coming back. You'll be on a roll. I just have a question, Dana. Though, this program is done through Hangouts. If you know, if I'm going to take your program, what if I can't meet one of those weeks? I can't be with you.
Great. Yeah. So if you can't be there, everything is recorded, and what I've set up for us, ladies, is what's called a private community in Google. So if you're not familiar with that, that's fine. We can get you all set up. All you need is internet access. And as I say, you can watch it from anywhere, but everything will be recorded. This will be recorded from today, and it will be put up into the community. And in our private community, that's private for us. So whoever signs up for that, the public can't see it. This broadcast, the public can see. So it will be recorded. You can go back to it anytime. That community will be up for, you know, an indeterminate amount of time, because people can go back in any time and watch something and revisit something that that really affected them, or even if they couldn't stay for the whole thing, then they can go back and watch it. And you know, we learn so much from other people as well. So yeah, it's just a great tool, and you don't have to know how to do these Hangouts at all. This is something that we do, unless of course you want to learn how to do a Hangout. Then of course you're going to contact Debbie Talbert for that, right? Excellent. All right. Any other questions there, Penny?
You know, I'm just going to mention a comment, and then maybe one of the other panel members wants to get a question before we go. And so it's from Brenda Eaton, and she says, great program today, Dana. Great reminders about focusing on what we want to achieve and attract in our business. Key point there. That's so true. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Brenda. Yeah, great to hear from you.
Well, Dana, I have a quick question before I have to go and get ready for my other job.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you're doing the law of practice and you're practicing it and working towards it, can you do more than one and focus on more than one thing, or is it better to pick one specific at a time?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Debbie, and I get asked that all the time. So I think it's good to set your goals, but then we have to prioritize. Because if we do a bit of this, and we do a bit of this one, and we do a bit of this one, and we do a bit of this one, everything gets diluted. So we're not focusing on any one thing, and nothing's getting done. So yes, we can have different desires, but I actually like to work with people in phases. So what's phase one going to be? Is it, if it's simply, you know, if it's looking at your brand, then let's take a look at that, right? Because we don't want you out there building your website until we've got that first thing done, right? So that's a great question, and yeah, just one that, you know, prioritize and then see which is the most important. And usually the one that's most important is the one that's giving you the greatest grief. The one that really you feel like, okay, I've just got to do this, right? So take a look at that. Great question. And Penny, I know that we had another question. Actually, Jackie's got a good point here. So we talked about this earlier on. Jackie, why don't you share that question that you often get asked, and tell them how you answered it.
Most of my clients are people who've been struggling for years. They're stressed out, and when I teach them that, when I tell them and explain that we can attract something deliberately,
yes,
they have doubts.
Yeah.
Right. So doubts is a negative feeling, and they keep attracting more of that. So
right.
I know that your course is about deliberate attraction, and that we can really happen and even make it happen quickly. So I'm really excited about what you're going to be teaching, Dana.
Thanks. And Jackie, I would say too, because we talked about this earlier, that you said that you've had clients that are really questioning, does this really work? Can I really stop smoking, or can I really attract this? So maybe just address that for a minute.
Well, they have so many doubts because their experience has been in the hole. They've been at that low energy for years and years, right? Struggling with their their challenges. So their mind cannot fathom how powerful our mind is. And I have to explain that this is a science, like you've spoken about it. Yeah. This work is a science. It's all about energy.
Yeah.
When you shift your thoughts, you're shifting energy. You have to make change. Right. It's the law. That's why it's called the law.
That's right. There we go. Okay. And on that note, it's the law, ladies. So let's follow the law, and I hope you lose some of those negative beliefs, right? Actually, we don't want to lose those negative beliefs. We want to release them. because actually when you talk about losing weight or losing whatever,
Relief.
your mind's thinking, I want to get it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I lost it. How do I get that back? Right? Don't. Release it, relieve it, let it go, and let the law of attraction bring you what you need to do, know, or have. So again, this is Dana Smithers with the Empowered Women in Business Law of Attraction workshops, and the one that I have coming up is just go to my website, empoweredwomeninbusiness.com/business abundance. You will see all the dates that are coming up, and as I said, it's a private community. Check out the pricing on it, very, very affordable. And again, you're the investment, so make the investment in you, and I think you'll be very happy with that. I look forward to having you join my Google community. It's Law of Attraction for Women in Business, and if you haven't signed up for my newsletters yet, please do. Just go to empoweredwomeninbusiness.com, and there's a sign up right at the top. And I've also got a free recording that you can listen to, several free recordings on my website. So I would love to thank my wonderful panel, Debbie Talbert of hangoutwithdebbie.com, Jackie McLean of thepowerwithin.ca, Penny Petty of hangoutwithpenny.com. She's got a lot of great hangout shows happening. So I will just say to you, I'll actually just say namaste. I salute you, and carry on with the great work and making a difference in this world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dana.
Thank you.
Thank you.